finalists enter historic center court, carrying with them their highest hopes, a Grand Slam championship one match away. Steffi Graf, 22, in her fourth final the last 5 years. Her former doubles partner, they bow to the royal box. 21-year-old Gabriela Sabatini playing in her first. We're live from London. Welcome to Breakfast at Wimbledon, the ladies' final that features the top 2 seeded players in the championship. Steffi Graf, one of only 3 women to capture a tennis Grand Slam. She did it as a teenager 3 years ago, Wimbledon, part of a golden year. She repeated in 1989, staking her claim as a future all-time Wimbledon great. But last year, Graf stumbled in the semifinals, plagued by non-tennis problems. She was upset by Zina Garrison. This year, Graf is again on a victory march. 6 opponents, 6 quick wins, including her rematch with Zina Garrison. Her invincibility on grass reconfirmed. However, someone Graf has not been able to beat this year is today's opponent, Gabriela Sabatini, who defeated Graf last September to win the U.S. Open, Gabby's first Grand Slam. Sabatini has the best record in tennis this year and has beaten Graf 5 straight times, including the finals at Boca Raton and at Amelia Island. The 21-year-old beauty from Buenos Aires has lost only 4 times in 50 matches this year. While Sabatini's Wimbledon trip hasn't been as smooth as Graf's, she has conquered each opponent in straight sets, including an acid test against Jennifer Capriati in the semifinals. Today, they play for a place in Wimbledon history. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our southeast corner at center court. Hallowed lawns, chewed as they may be, of center court. I don't know whether to say good morning or guten Morgen. You need to speak German around here this weekend. 2 Germans in the men's final, and Steffi Graf another here in the ladies' final. And some history to be made, as for the first time in 25 years, a South American woman playing for the title. Maria Bueno, the great Brazilian, 25 years ago, was in the final, was defeated by Billie Jean King, but Bueno, of course, had won championships before. Now, Graf versus Sabatini, a rivalry that really is building in the same manner as Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova, and it appears they're going to be around for a while. Take Steffi Graf. How does she win today?
Well, I think Steffi is going to have to go to the net more than she has in her previous matches. She's won so easily, but Gabriela is a tougher opponent. She looks very relaxed this week. She struggled at the beginning of the year, but she looks like she's playing very well and very confident.
Sabatini wins the U.S. Open, and since then, really tough against her former doubles partner.
We've seen her laugh. She's having fun. Before the match, she was out on a back court playing soccer with tennis balls, just bouncing around like a colt. She's having fun. The pearl of the Pampas, the divine Argentine, is out here on grass. She's never won a tournament on grass, but here's the place she has to go for, what I call center court rough. She's got to put the ball in that area right behind the tee. Look at that. How would you like the bounces off that? She slices, chips, and approaches. If she could put that backhand in there and come to the net, giving Graf no time to handle that bounce, then I think she can win. And that is the pattern that she established at the U.S. Open in beating Graf in the final and in beating Graf the last 5 times they've played. I think Gabriela can do it. She looks very loose and happy.
A final note, if it goes 3 sets this year, Capriati, or the Sabatini rather, who beat Capriati, has not been beaten. 7 straight times she's won in a 3-set match, where Graf has won only 2 of 5. We'll have that opening serve for you in just a moment.
Wimbledon 1991 is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Nike, who reminds you to just do it. By Xerox, the document company. And by Haagen-Dazs, rich, creamy Haagen-Dazs ice cream and frozen yogurt. Taste the passion.
Bright sunshine beaming down on these fans in London today. Temperature is cooler as well compared to the last 2 days. They're 20-9 head-to-head. A bit misleading. Graf won the first 11. They're 9-9 since. And now Sabatini has taken charge, the victor in the last 5. Steffi Graf from Brühl, Germany. Pavel Slozil, former Davis Cupper from Czechoslovakia, is her coach. As we all know, a wonderful forehand. and better than average serve. Jennifer Capriati will put much more spin and action on the ball. Gabriella Sabatini. Oh, I got Jennifer Capriati on my mind, and so do a lot of fans here, because she left the court after losing to Sabatini to a standing ovation, and still talk today about the wondrous 15-year-old from Florida. Sabatini nevertheless dismissed her 6-4-4. Carlos Kiermaier, it's interesting, a Brazil connection. He's a former Brazilian #1, and it was the last South American woman to be in the finals at Wimbledon was Maria Bueno.
Capriati and Sabatini both had Italian grandfathers, so there's, you know, anybody can mix that up.
Sabatini won the toss and elected to serve.
She's not serving very hard in this tournament. She's relying on a lot of spin to get the ball in, and that ball can jiggle with spin on this grass court. Jane Tabor's the umpire.
And that's somewhat of a note. Second woman ever for a final in the chair.
Out. 15-love.
Miss Tabor is from Somerset, England. The only other lady in the chair, center court for a final, Georgina Clark in the centenary year, 1984.
Georgina's the referee now.
I thought Steffi's return was pretty good. Gabriella took a short swing, boom, powerful, nice and deep. It's not easy in these first few points. Have a little bit of nerves.
40.
I think these first few points, you want to make sure you get your feet moving, get everything loosened up.
You like to hold your first serve, don't you?
Yes.
So 4 powerful forehands from Graf, but then she misses on the backhand, and we're underway.
First game.
Steffi Graf's trip, Tracy.
Steffi had a pretty easy time. Sabine Appelmans from Belgium, Peanut Louis, American, Peanut Louis Harper, Yayuk Basuki from Indonesia, Amy Frazier, promising young American from Michigan, Zina Garrison, who beat Steffi last year in the quarters here. So Steffi got some revenge there, and Mary Jo Fernandez in the semifinals.
Fernandez taking 6 games, most by any opponent, 4 the most in any set sacrificed by Graf. She steamrolled through. Rules good.
15.
Gabby doesn't make that play, but does...
Steffi's going to play
Graf,
with 2 rackets.
well, that she may need it. But what's the story? Is it a string tension she doesn't like? Now, Monique Javer, Englishwoman, Katrine Kentrek from France, the junior champion last year, Andrea Sternadova, Czechoslovakia, Tozia from France, Laura Gildemeister, the only mother in the tournament, from Peru.
Out. 30-15.
Actually,
Graf.
Lisa Bonder-Kreis played, and she was a mother.
Oh, thank you for correcting me.
Got to give her some credit
You're
for those
right.
9 months.
You're right.
Saw Graf come out with 2 rackets, much as Jimmy Connors did earlier in the championship. Perhaps 1 to serve, 1 to receive.
I'm sure that they're a little bit different in tension. She has to find which one's more comfortable.
Ooh, right on the baseline. 40-15.
40, 15.
Talking about depth, my goodness, right off the baseline. And bad bounce.
That's where you put them all the time.
First
Game
ace of
score.
the match, 1-all.
One game all, first.
21 for the tournament for Steffi.
Steffi's not that comfortable coming up to the net. She let that coming in shot drop down low. The approach shot wasn't strong enough. I think, Bud, Steffi's great in the back and great at the net, but it's the transition that she has trouble with. Steffi really runs around this backhand. Tries a drop shot. It's a good play on grass because the ball dies.
13th stroke of the rally.
And Sabatini showing her improved conditioning, foot speed. Earlier in her career, all the talent, all the strokes, but didn't move like that.
She's always been trim, but I think she's even more trim now.
40.
Sometimes that slow spinning serve will throw off a Graf who wants to power the ball, wants to hit with you.
And she loves the base.
I agree with that. That happened at the 90 U.S. Open. She overhit a lot of those soft ones.
Sabatini actually had a serve timed out here at 52 miles an hour. That's our league, Dick.
You bet. Someday.
We're working up to it.
There she took advantage with the soft second serve.
40,
She moved inside the baseline and attacked this ball. Everything going forward. Gabriella has only won 49% of the points so far coming into this match when she's had to play a second serve. She does have a weakness. I think that's it.
Right on cue as Graf punishes that second ball.
Now, I saw Steffi practicing this shot yesterday with her coach, Pavel Slazl. That was a confident hit. She struck it so well.
Game Sabatini. Sabatini leads 2 games.
The familial similarity, easy to spot, Mrs. Heidi Graf. Peter Graf not present yet in the player's box.
And maybe he won't be. He may just decide he's apologized publicly for hurting her career with all the publicity that swirled around him, and he may just stay away today. Ooh.
You know, Steffi did the right thing, but she didn't do enough with this volley. It bounced up, and Gabby could choose which side to hit to.
She said she wants this title badly. That's about as open as Steffi Graf will get.
15 all.
No longer the pigeon, Sabatini.
And one of the ploys of Kiermaier was to not have her play doubles, but with Graf anymore. Get away from her. Better to just be her opponent than a friend and then opponent.
15-30.
They won doubles here in 1988.
Oh, walked right up the net cord and over the other side. 40-30.
Steffi comes in. Obviously, it's a game plan. Puts just enough slice and undercut on the ball. Dribbles over.
Game is drawn.
We're 2-all in the opening set. Still no break points. Graf, who won the Golden Grand Slam in '88, all 4 major titles, plus the gold medal in Seoul in the Olympics.
Gabriella got the silver in that one.
Those were the days where she just couldn't keep up with Steffi.
Love 15.
I think Carlos Kiermaier has done a lot to help Sabatini. He's shortened her strokes. They're not quite as loopy. Still a lot of loop, but they're a little bit more compact. She hits through the ball more, has more power and more pace on it.
Her first approach.
And he's also helped her with this. She comes to the net very well. What an athlete. She's using all of her options. Changes directions well.
And aggressiveness helped her to win that U.S. Open last September.
Boy, that was a great approach. Had a lot of slice on it. And as you said, Bud, on this grass, it's a little bit chewed up. It stayed down so low.
If Steffi can start taking the initiative, she could bounce ahead here.
Steffi was all the way outside the alley there.
15-40.
It's amazing. Gabby kind of misjudged that one. Does she like her forehand or what?
First 2 break points. Steffi Graf has the first lead of this championship match.
Graf leads 3 games to 2 first set.
See if Sabatini can muster a break back.
15.
Wouldn't it be surprising if Steffi decided to play serve and volley a couple of times here? Really take the rush away from Sabatini.
15 all.
Backhand error. Her 5th.
This is the best they've done in a Grand Slam this year. Steffi Graf lost in the quarters of the Australian to Novotná and the semis of the French to Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
Bad volley.
30-15.
You're right, Bud. Not enough sting on it. Right in the middle of the court. Back to Steffi's forehand. Deadly.
So Papa has shown up.
Former used car salesman. Now their lives, of course, involved with their tennis playing daughter.
Would you buy a car from that man?
30 all.
Gabriela Sabatini lost in the quarters of the Australian Open to Sanchez Vicario and in the semis of the French to Sanchez.
Sabatini taking a little time between points. Graf likes to hurry through her matches. They want to get into her pattern.
Can't get two more contrasting players in that department. Steffi looks like she's late all the time.
Steffi's a sprinter and Gabby is a marathoner. Second ace for 40-30.
40-30.
Was it?
40-30.
I thought Jane Tabor said fault. I thought she overruled there, but then she, I guess, swallowed that word, and it was an ace.
Game
Oh,
is drawn.
that forehand is lethal. 4-2 Graf.
Graf leads 4 games to 2.
That ball bounced up a little bit on Gabby. She did what she could do to get it back. But Steffi found the line.
First service.
While the temperature is higher than yesterday, it was much more uncomfortable with humidity Friday and Saturday. Net cord winner. On the court itself in the sun, 95 degrees.
Gabby stays down so well with this shot. It's a much more compact stroke than she used to have. It's a great shot against Steffi. I say it's a great shot against Steffi because when Steffi's constantly over in that backhand corner, if you can rip one down the line, you might catch her by surprise.
Like two different players, Graf on the forehand wing versus the Graf that hits that slice backhand. Sabatini holds it low. 4-3. Proudly watches from above our commentary booth as his daughter to be named next week in the People magazine, one of the 50 most beautiful women in the world. Well, Graf with more winners and more errors, an indication she is the aggressor. She's making the fight.
It's exactly the way she plays. It's all or nothing. Another
my.
bad bounce.
30 love.
Hitting the brown patches near the baseline. Because believe me, she has great timing.
Well, our colleague and friend Chris Evert, Wimbledon champion, home in Florida, getting ready for her role as a mother.
Ooh.
They said that the play on good grass is the best surface, but bad grass, ooh, the worst.
Steffi comes in and attacks this ball, but can't quite get ready in time for that hard return from Sabatini.
That was for 30 all.
And she didn't move at all. It was an easy smash.
She didn't move and she hit straight down. I think this makes all the club players at home feel good. Straight down into the net. Need to push it out. That's one of the toughest shots in the game of tennis.
Game is Graf. Miss Graf leads 5
Steffi
games to
looks
3 for
pumped up today. Boy, is she connecting well with the ball. She's hungry for this title.
She showed that against Mary Jo Fernandez, who played extremely well and got 6 games.
love 15.
Sabatini a year younger. She's 21. In shorter at 5 feet 8. Had a great year, 46 and 4 in 1991. That's the best record in men's or women's tennis.
And Steffi's record is 42 and 6. Steffi actually had her 22nd birthday right before the championships, and she was over here for the 2 weeks practicing on grass. And her parents and her brother flew in for a nice quiet dinner to celebrate her 22nd birthday. Steffi pulled up a little bit on that one. But as you say, it's the all or nothing. She really goes for it. Can't change her game that much. Of course, in her career, she hasn't needed to.
Just wide. Sabatini thought it might have caught the edge of the line. 40-30.
Sabatini let this ball drop pretty low.
Oh. Well, Alan Gray on the line said it was out. His is the voice that counts.
Well, she didn't use the slice, just blocked that one back.
Now, that was a lot of strength right there because that ball was really behind her. Just used her wrist at the last second to flick it through.
Her first backhand winner, and it comes in a big spot. Gets her to deuce. 3-5.
That's what got her the U.S. Open title, and she needs to do more of it.
I like that she's added that whole nother dimension to her game. It's nice to have variety. In case you're losing, you can always change up and try something different.
It's always puzzled me, Tracy and Bud, that Steffi hasn't done more attacking, because she has that great slice and terrific talent to get to the net. Not a bad volleyer. I guess that part of her game is so good, she just figures she can beat you with a forehand and will serve for the opening set of this ladies' final when we return. Probably the best day to play tennis of the entire championship, and now our Xerox Sports Facts. Martina Navratilova holds the record for the most Wimbledon singles titles, 9. Whose record did she break? With 8. We'll give you the answer after this game.
Gabriella came in off of a deep shot. This volley didn't have enough on it.
She sneaked in. It was a good tactic.
You're right. She surprised me. Steffi's looking hot today. At the net, playing aggressive.
Ooh.
Caught the line.
30-15.
She even ties her shoelaces quickly.
She's got a parking meter running somewhere.
(30-15), 2 points from the set.
Now will Gabby go after that second ball?
Look where she's standing, way in the alley, trying to make Steffi think about it. Ooh, the chip and charge. It worked.
No bounce at all for Graf, even though it was on her favorite side. Couldn't get under that forehand. Nope. Set point for Steffi Graf.
Game and first set, Miss Graf.
And she punctuates a set lead with another big forehand. Steffi Graf, 6-4 in the first. The answer to our Xerox Sports Facts, Martina Navratilova holding the record for most Wimbledon titles with 9. Whose record did she break? And there you see one of the great stars in the history of this sport, Helen Wills Moody, 8 times Wimbledon ladies champion.
And watching today, I hope, in her California home.
Love 15.
She's going to be tough on top.
Steffi has this weapon going for her today. She's using it so well. Look at her feet move, constantly moving, adjusting all the time.
10 forehand winners now. First set statistics. Both women serving very well. Plus 11 winners for Graf. That's the difference, even though she has more errors. She's going for it. Is this the same woman we saw just beat herself in Paris against Arantxa Sanchez Vicario? 4 hands going out of the stadium that day.
Gabriela did well with this volley. Not easy up there. You don't have much strength.
But I believe that's only the second forehand that has gone long. She's had such great depth the way she's winging.
Fräulein forehand, back in business.
She pulled up just a little bit at the last second. Can't guide it.
This
is the most I've seen Steffi come to the net all tournament.
Now, she's made up her mind to do it, and it's an excellent idea because she has the equipment to do it.
She ever get to that forehand?
And then to the next one. She moved so well. Look at the strength she has to get this one back so hard. She looks like a sprinter here to me. Caught it right on the rise.
Oh, she's wonderful to watch. Moves so fluidly. Gabby not getting much on her first serve now, and her second serve is notorious.
Advantage, Miss Graf.
This then becomes a critical point for Sabatini, already down a set.
And up 40-15 in this game.
Tough shot to try, not enough on it.
IBM radar gun fastest serve for Sabatini, 79 miles an hour today. Game to Graf. Up a set, up a break.